Explorer of the oceans. Although people have been exploring the world's lands for thousands of years, the oceans have remained quite mysterious. Not too long ago, sailors feared that the ocean depths were alive with huge monsters and other terrors. It took a remarkable person to decide to start unlocking the mysteries of the salty deep. This man was named Jacques Cousteau. He spent and sometimes risked his life taking daring journeys. His goal was to discover the truth about Earth's biggest yet most mysterious places, the oceans. Cousteau's amazing life began with his birth in France on June 11th, 1910. Early in his life he was fascinated by machines and how they worked. As a teenager, he even made some brilliant inventions, such as a car powered by batteries and a working crane. Still, the true love of his life was the water. After he finished school, Cousteau was quick to join the French Navy. There, he began learning about underwater diving and exploring. He accepted any chances to dive into the ocean at the drop of a hat. One of his earliest diving trips was a mission to gather lost statues from a sunken ancient ship. To help his diving, Cousteau helped design a new machine in 1943. This machine was the aqualung, a device that allowed divers to breathe for 4 hours underwater. Later, he would help invent scuba gear, an updated aqualung which is still in use today. SCUBA stands for Self Contained Underwater Breathing Apparatus. It is basically a tank that holds air that a diver can breathe using a tube attached to his or her mask. With scuba gear, people could breathe safely even 100 feet down in the ocean. This allowed divers to travel deeper and deeper into the mysterious depths. Cousteau's work was interrupted by World War II. He fought in the war and won medals for his courage on the high seas. At one time, he even served as a spy. Meanwhile, the aqualungs he had made were used by French divers who worked to clear enemy bombs out of the water. Cousteau's work saved many lives. After war, Cousteau eagerly returned to his study of the ocean. He bought a boat called the Calypso that was full of scientific equipment. But he needed money to pay for his boat as well as his lengthy trips into the ocean. He began making films and books about his journeys. His first film came out in 1956 and it was an instant hit. It won many awards, as did his later films. It also helped raise needed funds. The daring explorer made more than 100 films and even hosted his own television show. Millions of viewers loved watching the stories and pictures of the ocean and its many the stories and pictures of the ocean and its many creatures. For the first time, people were able to see what few humans had ever seen before, the ocean's darkest depths. As Cousteau shared his discoveries, many people realized they had misunderstood the oceans. Their confusion and fear about its mysteries turned into a sense of wonder. Many of Cousteau's fans came to love the oceans. They also started to learn more about how human behavior has caused problems for ocean life. More importantly, they began looking for ways that humans could help to clean the oceans and save the wondrous animals and plants in them. Cousteau became more and more recognized until he was a household name, yet he never dreamt of retiring or spending the rest of his time as a television star. Rather, his drive to explore the oceans only became stronger. Cousteau began creating special clubs for divers and marine ocean scientists. He also helped to establish museums and other attractions that helped spread the knowledge he gathered. One of his most important tasks was helping the continental shelf Con Shelf project. Con, Con Shelf was an effort by scientists to create a lab underwater where people could live for many days at a time as they studied the oceans. Cousteau had much knowledge to offer about living and working underwater. Jacques Cousteau died on June 25, 1997, but many people around the world still remember his life and work. During his life, he was honored for his bravery, love of knowledge, and teaching skills. He inspired many scientists, explorers, and regular people who love the oceans. Most of all, Cousteau always lived up to one of his favorite sayings: we must go and see for ourselves. Number 1. How is this text organized? A. Problem and solution. B. Cause and effect. C. Main idea and details. D. Chronological order. Number 2. Read this sentence. Cousteau became more and more recognized until he was a household name. What does the phrase household name mean? Choose two. A person who is known by the public. B. A person who loves adventure. C. A person who owns valuable property. D. A person who starts an important family. E. A person who is famous. Number 3. Which sentence best states the main idea of this passage? A. Cousteau was a famous television star who taught about the oceans. B. Cousteau was the first person to dive into the oceans. C. Cousteau dedicated his life to discovering new things about the oceans. D. Cousteau invented many useful devices. Number 4. Read the paragraph. Although people have been exploring the world's lands for thousands of years, the oceans have remained quite mysterious. Not too long ago, sailors feared that the ocean depths were alive with huge monsters and other terrors. It took a remarkable person to decide to start unlocking the mysteries of the salty deep. This man was Jacques Cousteau. He spent and sometimes risked his life taking daring journeys. His goal was to discover the truth about Earth's biggest yet most mysterious places, the oceans. Part A. What inference can we make about Cousteau based on the details in this paragraph? A. Cousteau was a courageous pioneer in facing the unexplored oceans. B. Cousteau must have feared the huge monsters and terrors of the mysterious oceans. C. Many people probably thought Cousteau was foolish to explore the dangers of the oceans. D. No one had ever gone diving into the ocean before Cousteau. Part B. Which two phrases from the text best support the answer to Part A? A. Feared the ocean depths. B. Alive with huge monsters and other terrors. C. Remarkable person to decide to start unlocking the mysteries of the salty deep. D. Sometimes risked his life taking daring journeys. E. Oceans have remained quite mysterious. Number 5. What was the name of Cousteau's boat? A. Aqualung. B. Calypso. C. Conshelf. D. Scuba.